Hi guys. I will actually be talking about One Church LA. I'm visiting California for a week. So I got in on Saturday. I don't know if you guys can hear me clearly, but let me just raise my voice a little bit because of the airplane and everything around me. Let me just raise my voice a little bit because of the airplane and everything that's around me, so you guys can hear me clearly. So I'm actually visiting LA for a week, and I came in on I came in on Saturday. Yep, Saturday at 12-ish. So when I came in on Saturday, I kind of just I kind of just laid down and kind of rested and everything like that. Then a little later in the day, I went out. I did my hair. Hold on, let me not get hit by this car. Hold up. Yeah, so I went out and I did my hair. And then after that, the next day was Sunday, and I really wanted to visit One Church LA. So um, I really wanted to visit One Church LA. I actually wanted to go to their 9:30 service because I always like going to church at 9:30, like early in the day. But unfortunately, I didn't get to because I didn't finish my hair before I went to sleep last night. So when I woke up in the morning, I just like finished my hair. And then after I was done and everything, I got ready. I went there. And when I got there, it was like really packed. Um, and I got to kind of like experience being there physically because usually, like, I remember like back in the days when I said back in the days like I'm like 50 years old, but back when I was in high school, I used to watch TD Jakes a lot, like all the time. And eventually, like his daughter, who was Sarah Jakes, I guess she started preaching a little bit, and then she got married um, to Pastor Torre, and they started their church and everything together. And I knew when they uploaded their first video on YouTube, and I would always follow them and everything like that. And there was actually a time when I stopped watching TD Jakes, and I would always watch them, and I would always like watch Stephanie and like everyone who preached at their church. Um, and then eventually I like started going back and forth. So I do listen to all of them and everything. So like when I got the opportunity to come to California, that was one of the things that I really wanted to experience in person, because when you're like on the computer, it's like you're on the computer, but you don't really it's like different when you actually experience something like in person, something like that in person. So I went to their church. The first thing that I noticed was that like there were a lot of people. Like they had to like find me a place to sit or whatever. So their church was already filled up, which is good because like they grew quickly in a short amount of time. Um, and you can tell that right now they're probably like even looking for a bigger church that can kind of contain even more people, which I think is really good for them. Another thing that I noticed was that like I know that they opened, like they have another branch in Denver, which is really good because I guess like more people get to experience it and everything, and it's kind of like they're branching out and stuff. So they weren't there, but they had like it was kind of like a screen on the altar, and the message was being projected on the screen. So I'm guessing that he was in Denver, like Pastor Sawyer was in Denver preaching. I'm not sure where he was exactly, but he was somewhere preaching, and it was projected in the screen. Um, and he was kind of like interacting with all the people from the different states, even though he physically wasn't like in church or whatever. And I thought it was really powerful that even though like they weren't physically in church, and even though there wasn't like a physical pastor in church, like they were still able to get people to like a lot of people to actually show up to church like it was really church. I mean, it's really church, but like they were still able to get people to show up. Because if you think about it, like those same people could have been like, oh, it's going to be on the screen anyway. Let me just, stay at home and watch it and stuff. But no, like the people actually like, showed up to kind of like fellowship, like, you know, like it's church. And that kind of made me feel how powerful the impact and influence they have over people is. Because like one thing about church is that sometimes people think that, oh, it's like I come to church and then like, I hear a message or I listen to whatever my favorite pastor has to say and then I go home. But it's like when you're coming to church, you also are coming to kind of like network and fellowship and grow with like other people as well that are kind of like like-minded and head in the same direction, and kind of to uplift, kind of build each other in a way. So that was one thing that I felt really good about, of how like the people there were like very supportive of each other, and it was kind of like a family. What else? What else did I notice? Um, the message was very, very, very. I feel like it was more powerful, even though it was coming through a screen. It was still more powerful being in their church than like when I would like be on my bed watching it from my computer screen. I don't know. Maybe it's the presence or like the aura. I don't know what it is, but I just felt like it was just more. You know, it was more like there. Like it just felt like they were still there, even though they physically weren't there. Um, the other thing that I noticed was a lot of people that were at the church were my age, like around my age, which made me felt really, really good, because that was the first time I've ever been to a church that had a lot of people that show up that were around my age. Like normally when I would go to church and stuff, it would normally be a lot of like older people, a lot of people who were older. And when I was like going to church on campus, it wasn't a lot of people at the actual church. It would like the campus church and stuff like that. It would be probably like a few people, like like I don't know, probably like a few people, but not as many as there were that I saw there, and also as diverse. It was like a diverse a very good diverse group of people there, and they were actually worshiping and they were fellowshipping and everything like that. So I didn't record or take a video of anything, because I feel like it's very intimate and personal to each person that was there. So I'm not about to like have my camera in people's faces and stuff. So that was another thing that kind of like made me feel powerful. It was a very different experience than any other church that I've ever experienced. Um, I felt like it kind of like made me feel like it was the future of church, um, and they were kind of gonna set the precedents for other um, pastors, like like moving forward, because it was like it felt more modern, and it felt like it was their the way that they did their church and the way that they did their messages and everything made it more relevant, I felt, for people of all ages. People of all ages, especially like the youth, like people between the ages of like pretty much like young people can relate and feel like they're part of like the whole thing, like everything. So I felt like that was really powerful. And I felt like and not like I felt like, but I was thinking that just imagine if they had like at least one branch in every state, like how much impact I would have on the lives of like so many people. Just being able to get people to come together and worship together, especially young people, because I feel like most of the times like the people who really push the world forward are like normally like the younger generation, because like I don't know, I feel like maybe it's a personal opinion or whatever, but I feel like the younger generation are more, they tend to be more energetic and more passionate about certain things, maybe because they haven't been through life enough to be like crushed, or like I don't know what it is, but I feel like it's very, very powerful to have that amount of younger that amount of young people in church and worshiping the way that they were worshiping. It wasn't like, well, I'm just at church because it was it's a Sunday, let me just go to church. It was like, yeah, they were really involved and were really like, you know, feeling the message. And that kind of like, that energy kind of like spread throughout the whole entire church, which kind of, I think, added to like the different feeling from like, you know, just watching it from the screen. Like, you can actually feel like, you know, you can actually feel other people receiving the message, and you can actually feel that energy spreading. Ooh, did I just spit? You can actually feel that energy spreading like throughout the whole entire, like, you know, church and everything. So that made me feel like, you know, good that I was able to witness something like that. And it also made me feel really, really good because I know that, you know, this is just the beginning for them. Like, I feel like they haven't even scratched the tip of the iceberg. So I know one day I'll be able to look back to today and kind of like say, yeah, I've actually been there before. You know, you know, I've witnessed, you know, their growth and their development and their progression and everything like that. So that made me feel good. So yeah, they also have Bible study on Thursday. So I'm definitely going to attend because, you know, Sarah Jakes will be preaching. So I definitely want to go for that as well. And I also have other things that I plan to experience in LA as well within the next couple of days. So I'll keep you guys updated on everything. So far, you know, that was pretty much it. I think I'm forgetting something that I also wanted to say. Let me think for a second. Yeah, let me think for a second. I don't know what I was going to say. But yeah, I just want to kind of like, you know, congratulate them in all their success. Um, and I know that like sometimes when I think about little things like this, it's like, you know, a lot of people want to experience like, you know, the kind of success that they're having with their church and like, you know, everything. But it's like, who knows like the amount of work um, and the amount of challenges that they had to face to get to where they are right now, and to actually like overcome all of those obstacles to be able to like, you know, stand forth, not just like right now, but like every single day and every single time, you know, because it's not really easy. Like when you have this amount of influence over like, you know, this number of people, I'm pretty sure like, you know, there's a lot of like, you know, attack and everything. So sometimes I'm just like, I don't know how you guys do it, but you know, just let us know. Let us know. Some of us need to know because, you know, so we can like, you know, but I feel like they kind of do anyway. But yeah, I'm just happy for them and everything. And it kind of low-key made me want to move to LA because I'm like, I really want to be a part of this. But, you know, that's just going to be another discussion for some other time. I highly doubt that I'm moving here anytime soon. So let's just, you know, explore the rest and see what this. I'm still like exploring everywhere. I'm trying to see what like, you know, this city or this place is all about before I make decisions about like, you know, moving or anything like that. So that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you